My name is Nevil Nicholls. I was born in this tiny hamlet in the Kalinago Territory. It was formerly known as the Carib Territory in Dominica. Yeah, the Commonwealth of Dominica. The territory is a small portion of land on the northeastern coast or northeastern side of Dominica that was set aside for the indigenous peoples of Dominica, and since that's where they have been, so it was first named as a reservation, and then I think it was just a couple of years ago there were a few changes made to it. So one, it's no longer named a reserve, it's called a territory, and two, the word Carib has been removed from the books and in Dominica, and they are now called the Kalinagos. So the people up there are called the Kalinagos, and the area is called the Kalinago Territory. Yeah. Well, I was born in 1979 in the central portion of the territory, which is called Sensi. Sensi is spelled Stcyr. Some persons say sincere or whatever, but it's called Sensi, and it's like the center or the central part of the territory. If you start from the southern side, you will find the yes. As I was saying, I was born in the central part, Sensi, of the territory, which have a number of hamlets. If you start from the south, you go Sineku, Majini, Maho River, Gaulet River, and then you come to Sensi, and you go Salibert, and you go Point Ridge, and you go Crayfish River, Monkey Hill, and then Bataka. Yeah, and then Bataka. So Bataka is to the northern end, and Sineku is to the southern end. Now, the whole area in Sineku is the part of l'escalated chain. If you ever heard of it, the story of the big snake coming out of the sea and going up into the mountains and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So there also, well, the territory now is called the Mecca of cricket. There's lots of cricket going on, and there are lots of talented players from that area. I was born of 8 siblings. Yeah, who my family. So 8 siblings, 8 of us, and my parents make 10 of us, and we had one who did not live with us. So the family is actually 11. With 9 siblings, where I had 3 brothers, and I'm just gonna give you their nicknames. Yeah, so we had Showman, the oldest, then we had Nifos, and we had Joss or Mian, and then myself, I being the last son. We had 5 sisters. Michelle, who is the one who didn't live with us, and we had Mena, and then Claudine, and then Corinne, and well, Clarissa, we call her Pim. Yeah, Pim is the baby sister. Well, she's forever going to be the baby in that aspect anyway. So yeah, growing up, going to school, growing up in Sensi, going to school at the Salvia Primary School. It's got quite a bit of memory. Well, first of all, we walk to school daily. Walk to school and walk home. Sensi is basically between two. Well, most of the hamlets are separated by a river. Yeah, pretty much water area, a lot of water. Well, going to school in Salvia Primary School, we had lots of fun time. As from stories told, as I was told on growing up, I had long hair, but that's for different time. Yeah, I had long hair, as you can see, these little things, Yeah, so it was like long, long, using ponytails, and yeah, and my mom once, well, several occasions, she told me that in preschool, I used to wear a bando. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I used to wear a bando, this little thing that you put so, and it go back like, and keep the hair down flat, the feet on the side of your head like this, and keep the hair down flat. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so I wore a bando, and there was once that a friend of mine, bearing in mind that's in preschool, a friend of mine in the Frederick broke my bando at school, and that's what I was told. I don't think that is true, but yeah, and I was told that I cried for like a whole day, until that thing was replaced the next day. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, preschool life, I don't remember much of that, and hence the reason why making this documentary. Generally speaking, it's actually more about the Nevil Nicholls, the athlete, but we're just bringing you up to speed as to where it started and where we're coming from. So really and surely this whole thing is going to be Nevil Nicholls, the athlete, and the different concepts and aspects of what he been through, yeah, and that kind of thing. But growing up, primary school, cricket was our number one sport. Cricket has always been the number one sport in the territory, always. Remember, under 16 cricket, my two brothers, which is Nicholls and Mian, they were fast bowlers on the under 16 team, alongside with Adam Sanford, Armstrong, and Andre Paris. I could remember this other guy named Ozzy Abel, and these guys used to really give people trouble where cricket is concerned. Under 16 primary school cricket, man, Salvia School was problems. Botanical Gardens, buses going down full. But that's not what we're about here today. But anyways, cricket was the main thing. And back in the day, playing cricket, we were very, very short on gears. Yeah. So when sometimes during practice session you go to bat, and you would bat with one pair of pad, right? One pad. So you only put a batting pad on the front leg. If you're a right-hander, you put it on the left leg, and if you're a left-hander, you put it on the right leg, just the front leg. Now, my two brothers, my two older brothers, they Nicholls and Mian, they were on the under 16 cricket team during that period. Now, I love cricket, and even with these guys, we used to do a lot of the fielding for them and that kind of stuff. So, with intention that hopefully one of these days, we too, or like myself, would be on that under 16 team playing for the school. Now, there was an incident that occurred with Mian. There was, if my memory serves me right, there was a practice session going on one day at Salibia School down there, and if it was a practice session or a game, I don't remember clearly. Anyway, I don't remember exactly if it was a practice session or if it was a match. I think it was a practice session, and yeah, it was a practice session, and he was batting, and the ball missed the front foot which had the pad on, and struck the back foot, right, that didn't have on no pad. And I'm telling you, that was the day. It got swollen into a big lump, and it was like the following week, like 7 to 8 days later, the thing popped, right? And man, when the nurses clean inside that, you could see the bone, the shin bone in that leg, right? And from that day, I said to myself, you know what, I am playing no more cricket. So that happened. I wasn't even 10 yet. I think I was about 7, 8 or somewhere around there when that happened. Yeah. Anyways, that was a real bad thing. Well, I stopped playing playing hardball cricket. I decided I'm not going to be playing any hardball cricket because it's just not, it doesn't look good what happened, and we play backyard cricket all the time, of course, and our parents supported us a lot. My mom used to cook lunch for us. We play cricket all day, and of course the rules of this game is if your mom calls you can go do whatever she says and come back and continue playing. Yeah, and she cooked for us, and we used to do that kind of stuff. And I remember once we playing cricket in a place where my uncle was going to build a house, and the ball get struck onto in a banana field, and I ran in there. When I jumped, I landed on a glass bottle, and that almost took off my big toe. It stayed a couple of weeks before I can. Up to today, I can still, depend on how I step and squeeze that area, I can still feel a sensation in there that it's under that toe. But the whole thing happened, everything just, yeah man, that was a horrible feeling. We got some damages, yeah. And athletes, being an athlete, it started way back when, and we had a game that we play, follow the leader, and myself and my bigger brother Mian and we would play that game, and sometimes we would run for an hour and a half, just run. The terrain is not that simple, but sometimes nobody really takes it serious, and you just do it for fun and all that kind of stuff. I remember a particular incident that we were playing follow the leader, and he's older than I am, and when I get the opportunity to take the lead and I take the lead, I really have to do what I have to do to maintain that. And we were like 800 meters. Now we're like 3/4 or maybe almost a mile away from home, and doing that thing, right? And I'm telling you, one we have what they call a ravine, and we're heading down to that ravine, right? And just before we reach the ravine, I tripped, because I was actually trying to create difficult task or challenges for him to follow, because he had to do whatever I do, and to get him back so I could get a little more lead. But I tripped right before reaching the ravine, and I went head first. Yeah, and that I landed in the ravine head first. I still have this scar somewhere. I have this scar somewhere here. Yeah, so a big scar. There was a stone that was like this, and it just stuck in there. And it's like as soon as I dropped, my brother was on me, and as that happened, right, by the time it happened so fast, right, that it's like I dropped, pop, and he was on me, and he picked me up. Listen, I let go. Yeah, I bawled out, right? Wait, I'm telling you, bawled, yeah, and he was on me, like telling me, hush, because we didn't want people to hear what was going on around, So, man, by the time that's like a couple of seconds, but geez, that feel like it was a long time, Look down, right? All my shirt was red, and we were running for like an hour already, and body hot and blood pumping, and I'm telling you, right, got this big gash in here, and man, the next problem was, what are we gonna tell our parents when we get home? Not just what we're gonna tell our parents, what we're gonna tell our mom when we get home. That was the next question. Listen, there was a little area where they call where we have a little area that always had water running, so they stuck a bamboo thing into it in a little catchment, and it would fall over, and always had water running, and we're very close to that area. So he picked me up, and we walk across to that little area, and where I went and I stood under the water for a good while. Stay under the water, cool my temperature down, and wash off all the blood and all that kind of stuff. Wash out the face, wash out the shirt, and all these kind of things we did. And I'm telling you, right? Yeah, the problem was how we gonna tell our mom what actually happened. Earlier in the day, when we started the whole thing, she did tell us, stop running around the place, and unfortunately, we don't normally obey those rules until something stupid really happened. But yeah, so that was the next question as to how we're gonna tell her, because honestly, the injury was bad, and we were very young. We don't know nothing much about how to take care of these things, and it was just crazy, So anyway, this is the first episode of Nevil Nicholls, the athlete, and you will hear what happened on the next episode.